Let's introduce you.
Tsapang Malepane. I'm a photographer and I started doing stand-up comedy here in Vienna as well. What else do you need to know about me?
No, that's basically it. But what most importantly, you make money with photography. Ergo, you are a professional photographer, right?
Yes.
When did you start?
Jeez, Texas over here. 2019, I'd say I started. Well, that's when I was studying in Amsterdam. That's when I started my studies. So it sort of feels like my start because that's when I began learning everything. But I wouldn't say that's when I officially started earning money with photography. But that's when I started learning photography.
Right. Yeah. No. You normally, it's one of those professions where you work for a long time for free until you work for actual money. What was the first camera you worked on?
The first camera I owned, and that was my camera, was at a shitty little thing, a Nikon D3200. That was literally my first camera.
Describe your work routine with that camera. Like, what did you like, what didn't you like?
I mean, it was my first camera, so I was learning everything on it. So I didn't even have like a preference of what do I like, what do I not like. It was just
no baseline.
Yeah, that was the base. I was learning everything on it, and it was interesting. I couldn't say there's anything I didn't like because I was just learning. It's just a matter of getting to know what you don't already know. You don't like what you don't know. You're like, man, how do I do this? I don't like that. I don't know how to do this. And it's like, nah, you'll figure it out. You have the camera. It can do a lot. And it has proven me right. I've done a lot with it.
Yeah, you've taken some fantastic pictures. My plan for today was, because I own the most recent Olympus that we're filming on right now. That's why we can't show it. It's the OM1. You've had the joy of already fiddling around with it a little bit. We have to have a hook to this video, You can't just give people nothing. So my idea was, because this is Olympus's most recent release. That's the top of the line camera right now. They don't have anything better on the market. Well, Olympus doesn't. If you want to spend more money, you can get a really nice Nikon, an A7 III or something like that, or say, or a 4. Yeah. There's plenty of Sony cameras that are way better than this one. Well, not way better, but definitely better than this one. But they are so much more expensive, especially the glass. What I discovered at a thrift store near me is Olympus's first ever digital SLR. The E1, and I actually got it running. Like I had to fiddle a little bit with it, get new batteries, get a new compact flash card for it, do a factory reset and a few technical stuffs. But this is their first release. I think it came out in 2001 or 2003. Paul fact checked me later on. But yeah, this is the E1. It's a hunking monster of a camera, because it still has all the old stuff from what SLRs had, like the prism up here, the big base for your connectivity. You have Firewire and USB.
The classic stuff too.
Yeah, exactly.
Classic cables.
Exactly. It doesn't have HDMI out, it just has a video out. You don't have live view. You have to look through it, and you have a 5-second option to view your pictures afterwards, because otherwise it will write to the to the card, and then while it's writing, you can't access the camera. You just have the buffer to work with. So this is the first camera that Olympus ever released. I have the first digital proper camera that they released. I have the most recent one. So I was thinking, how about we do a little thing? Because I'm a photographer, but not a professional photographer. I'm just do pictures on the side. You do it professionally. So I was thinking, how about you take Olympus's most modern camera, I take Olympus's oldest digital camera, we go outside, we take some pictures, and we compare.
Okay. Why not the other way around?
You want the handicap?
I mean,
it's heavy, man. This is the 40-150 f2.8 constant aperture, and then I have the 4/3, the predecessor to this lens, the 35-100. 150? Yeah, the 35-100 f2. So just from a size comparison, 20 years makes a huge as this, or in this case, I think they're more like 15 years apart, but it makes a huge difference. This is heavy. This is not for a super tele with a crazy aperture. So, do you really want heavy? Each of us chooses 3 lenses to go into the field. So I was thinking, I'm going with the 35 to 100 f2, 30 millimeter Sigma f1.4 prime, f2.82, 3.5, 50 to 200. So that gives you 100 to 400 millimeters full frame equivalent. So that would be the 3 lenses that I would choose for this system right now. Also because I borrowed away the other lenses to my brother. But you have a little bit more of a selection, because the great thing about Micro Four Thirds is you can adapt any glass you want. So if you want 125 f1.3 Canon, you can have that. The autofocus is gonna suck, but you can have that.
I mean, it also depends what we're shooting.
Exactly. We're just going outside. So whatever you think street photography, your style of street photography. I don't wanna handicap you. That's the idea. You know, like what can a fully unleashed photographer do compared to a noob with a camera that is 20 years old. That was I think I want to make my life even harder just to see how stark the difference can be, you know? Because so many people nowadays say, oh, a smartphone is enough. I don't need a photographer or good gear. But what can a good photographer and good gear get you as opposed to somebody who's just there for $50, you know?
Shit, give me the new shit then, because
so
I like an easy life.
What do you want? So that's the question.
What do you have on this already?
Huh?
What do you have on this already?
Oh, that's the 17 millimeter f1.2 prime.
17 f1.2 prime. I'd use that in the club, not in the street. Do you have like say 50 to 80 or something between that range? Between that range.
I mean, that's this. Because that goes from 80 to 300.
You said 3 lenses. So
yeah, that would be 3 lenses. Oh, no. I'm an idiot. You get one of the best compact zoom lenses of all time, the 12 to 40 f.28. Yeah, that one is better, way better than this one. I'm sorry for even putting you through that traumatic experience. All right. And if you want vintage glass, we have vintage glass too. I have Canon FD lenses that fit on this, and Olympus lenses, old ones that fit on this. For example, I have a 50 millimeter prime that goes f1.1 technically.
I mean, vintage doesn't have autofocus. I like an easy life. I like an easy life.
See, I grew up with autofocus sucking so hard that we had to work so hard in the 90s and 2000 to get a good picture.
Not us, baby. We have the easy shit. Give me the easy.
Yeah, exactly. No, that's what the future should be, is that it gets easier.
Then what else would be the point? Why would we? You know what I mean?
All right, so we'll get ready. We'll shoot some pictures outside, and then we'll come back and see what we filmed. Right?
Yes, sir. That's what's up.
Nice. All right. See you later, guys. No gang signs. I was just